Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Ruka, and with me as always over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. They like to call him on the World Wide Web the Truth Box, I believe it is, because he likes to spit truth all day, every day, everywhere from here to Timbuktu. That's what he does. So, Mr. Truth Box, what do you get to say to all the people out there in the Right and Wrong audience today, brother?
Can you hear me all right through this?
Yeah, we got you.
All right.
Just following guidelines.
Just want everybody out there to be safe. Stay in line.
I love it.
Comply.
There you go. Protect yourself. I like that.
Yeah.
Stay smart.
Happy to get back on the show. And let's what's the saying? Rocket
Rocket, sock 'em, all that good stuff. Right that ship. Get back on it. So the theme for today's show is going to be left-wing authoritarianism. Did I say that right? All right, good. All right, perfect. With that lens, we'll be talking about a couple of stories up here in Massachusetts. One is where a Catholic couple is suing because they were denied the ability to adopt based on their beliefs. Another one involves the city of Boston removing gender from marriage certificates. I think that's probably worth our tax dollars to be going into something like that. We also will take a look at the microscope that Mr. Elon Musk has been put under by our very own federal government. And we also have a lightning round, which we know you guys all love. And then we'll close out the show with our always fun, always popular, come on, man, segment of the day. And I guess before I move on, I do have to remind you guys, please subscribe to the show. Follow us on Apple, Spotify. We got the YouTube page, all that stuff. Click wherever you can see it. Press the buttons, please. Hit my microphone. All that good stuff. So please subscribe to the show. We need the help. And with that being said, Juice Box, I do believe it is time to bring in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because it is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime! Woo! Woo!
All right. So we missed about a week there, maybe a week and a half when all is said and done. But it was the end of summer. I went up to New Hampshire with my family for a few days, get away from it all, get out in that country air. It was great. You've been up there before, Juice. You love that place. It's a fun spot. Nice water activity, lake region, mountains. Took the family on a nice hike. It was awesome. But during the hike, it did remind me that I kind of feel like Forrest Gump at times. That part in the movie where he says, "I am not a smart man, Jenny." Like that. That's how I felt, because a nice simple 40-minute hike up to the top of a, not even a mountain, nice hill to go take a peek at everything and turn around, come back. Should have taken 45 minutes total round trip. Ended up getting my family lost in the woods. We were out for 3 hours, 5.2 miles of walking. My kids, my wife, they're all in just flip-flops. We're sauntering around in the middle of the woods. Finally found our way out to the road. Had to get on the horn with Joe Pa. He's driving up and down the street.
Did you have to do anything? Like, was he beeping his horn too? You had to follow his horn?
No, it was terrible, though. I could hear a little bit of traffic. We finally saw some lady walking through the woods.
Did you look for, what side of the tree or the rock? Moss was growing?
No, I don't know any of that. I was like, yeah, let's just go this way. This seems about right. And followed it for a good half an hour. Get to the end of it, covered with a little swamp. You couldn't even walk through. Had to turn around. Oh, brutal. We saw giant pieces of dumps, like a huge pile of it.
Beer.
And I'm like,
beers.
oh, nice, we're cool. Like that means something. And Ashley's like, yeah, beer. Like,
ate the last
outta
hiker
here.
and processed it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just a sandal sticking out of a big
dude. Brutal. I felt like such
children's
a moron.
size children's size your horrible. Children's exactly.
Yes, but it's like I'm sitting here. I'm like, look at what we do almost every week here. We do this, try to tell people to listen to what I believe, what you believe, and I can't even get myself up and down a hill. So I guess I don't know if I'm the last person you should be taking advice from or following my recommendations about things. But not a very woodsy man, I guess. Put me in the woke category. What do you think?
Remember,
like Republicans, you would have been strapped, Juice, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have went up there to begin with. But walking up the hill. We went on a pedal taxi thing recently, but I made sure, like one of those where you're on it's cheesy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're on like a pub that like you pedal it.
Yeah.
Pedal taxi drinking thing. I was like, yeah, I'll go, but I'm not pedaling it.
Yeah,
so there's like
you're
a
like
seat
actively
that,
like stopping it, pushing backwards on them.
No, there's like a seat or two that's over the wheel, so they don't have the pedals. So,
that's great spot. Just hang. Yeah, I couldn't. I was so embarrassed when we found the road. We got spit out. We were able to get in contact. Luckily, my wife's cell phone was able to work a little bit, so we called. But again, it's like, how do you tell them where you are? I don't even know where I am. But we found our way out to like the main road. When he picked us up, we were 2.1 miles away from from our car. So even if we made it out to the street, we still would have been walking. Oh, brutal.
We have to do the show. Hey, we're checking in from the woods.
Parts unknown out here in the woods. Still going to keep the show up.
Let's keep the show moving as well.
That would be nice. So I just figured I'd tell you guys about that, my adventures. And now we're back. We're safe. We're ready to rock. So what do you think? Jump right into some topics here, Juice?
Yeah, all right. Go for it.
First one I want to talk about is Elon Musk. The left is coming after him. And it's no surprise. He was everybody's darling not too long ago when he was making electric vehicles for you, traveling to space, just doing good for the world. And they loved him. The whole Twitter thing happens. Guy's an advocate for free speech, thinks of himself as center left, left leaning, but calls you guys crazy for going how far you've gone. And now he's public enemy number one. So SpaceX is being sued by the federal government in a story that will maybe put it in the show notes. I got it from CNN.com, the fake news, CNN right there. So they're basically going after him, saying that he's in violation of international traffic in arms regulations, or ITAR, something like that. ITAR, to be abbreviated, Mr. Dogs. So they are saying that he's violating those. Actually, I'm sorry. I messed that up. He's afraid of getting hit for violating those regulations. I jumped the gun a little bit. He's afraid of getting hit for violating those regulations. Those regulations are in place for anybody that's like manufacturing spacecrafts, rockets, things that they do at SpaceX. So those are in place so that your technology doesn't get stolen by illegal aliens, by people that are here just from another country and go take the technology back to their place. So he was only hiring American citizens or green card holders. Now the federal government is suing him, saying that he's discriminating against people that are here on asylum or here as refugees, that he's not giving them an opportunity to work for SpaceX when they shouldn't even be in this country. This is absolutely absurd. And then the thing that I had mentioned that I jumped the gun on, the international traffic in arms regulations, is from their point of view, SpaceX, they're like, why are we going to hire people that could put us at risk of violating this and then losing all of our contracts? So it's like they get you on both ends of it, right? And you know as well as I do, Juice, that if this guy wasn't outspoken against the woke left, control powered apparatus that's in place right now, they would not be going after him for something like this. They would just look the other way, right? Though they just wouldn't care.
100%.
Like, why are they going after him? So the thing that really connects it for me is like, it's not just SpaceX. Now, there's also something going on with Tesla. So Tesla is, according to a story from yahoo.com, they are, federal prosecutors are investigating whether Tesla used its own funds for Musk's personal use, as opposed to company use, and the SEC is looking into it as well. So again, Elon Musk is getting taught a lesson: F around and find out. Right? It's like the same strong arm tactics that the mob would use for you. Luca Brasi, he swims with the fishes, right? Elon Musk got a dead fish delivered to his doorstep by the DOJ. And they're like, okay, oh, Tesla, boom. SpaceX, boom. You want to keep going here? We could play this game all night long like Lionel Richie, brother. So
that internet company you got, Starlink or whatever.
He's got an internet company too?
Yeah.
Nice. He's got everything.
Uh,
But that's the way, and that's why, like at the beginning of the show, I was saying the left-wing authoritarianism, because that's how they operate, right? If you're on their side, if you're part of the chosen class, if you're Hillary and you do the same thing Trump does, Hillary doesn't get charged. Trump gets the book thrown at him. If I'm sure you could go through Zuckerberg's company looking for stuff in Meta, Facebook, all that stuff, if they really wanted to. But he went and played ball when he got called in to the hearings a couple of years ago, and he stopped being as outspoken as he was before that about free speech platform and all that stuff, like when he first started. Now Musk comes around.
He throttles everything.
Who's that?
All the stories. Zuckerberg.
Oh yeah.
Like, hey, there's like a small hint. Maybe this could be something. Like, yeah, we'll definitely know. He is on the side of it. Throttle it all.
Absolutely. But when he first started, he kind of was more of that, like, dude, it's the free, let people, no regulations on what people can say. And I don't know where I'm not in favor of complete, utter wild, wild west out there, but more free than suppressed all day. And I think that's how all these tech bros were when they started. But you want to deal with the federal government? I listen to Shapiro pretty regularly, and I like the point that he makes where he's like, hey, I'm a prominent, conservative, outspoken pundit. He's like, I pay extra on my taxes every year just so they can't start effing with me. And I don't know if it's like a brag because he's kind of loaded and stuff, but I understand his point there too, where it's like, I'm the type of guy, or him, Shapiro, would be the type of guy that they would want to try to go after. He owns his own business. He's, pretty wealthy, does a bunch of stuff. So if there's anything at all, they're going to go after him for it. And that's how it is with Musk here. And it's just nuts. How people don't see through this stuff boggles my mind. And again, I just relate it all into what's going on with Trump, what has gone on with Hillary, with someone like Hunter, Joe and his corruption. It's not getting looked at the same way. And that's a problem. I don't know. What do you think, Juice?
I agree. He does stuff, Shapiro.
Stuff. But if you're on the wrong side, they're going to come after you, right? They're going to look at you harder.
100%. I heard they're onto you.
Really?
Had a good couple pop on the last episode. Algorithm working in your favor.
And then
I bet that will switch.
Yeah, algorithm pops, and then they get me lost in the woods.
Yeah, what did you say that week? Algorithm, as in alias?
Yeah.
Or was that me? I said that.
I think that was you, but I like that one. Yeah, they're on to us. That's why I'm in a new location. Parts unknown here.
Yeah.
In the bunker.
There's probably only 3 of those printers remaining, so they could track that down.
What, that one behind?
In the background. Oh, we know where he is. There's only so many of these.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's keep it.
I had to make sure nobody used the phone before we jumped on today. Hang up the house phone. We're starting.
Wow, yeah, I was downloading something on LimeWire or something.
Yes, sir. All right, what are we doing next? Doing our lightning round, or are we slipping in another topic?
No, I would like to do the jump to the lightning round.
Let's jump. Let's do it, baby.
All right. Let's roll.
All right. All right. And the lightning round is here. All those lightning effects coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go. All right. What do you want to hit us with
like
first?
a Metallica song or something?
Yeah.
Ride the Lightning? Wasn't that?
Cody? No, give us Cody Rhodes. His theme song.
American Nightmare?
Adrenaline in my balls. All right.
First one I got here. I don't know if I had showed you this recently. I mean, it came out a bit ago during the Oppenheimer Barbie launch week, but
okay.
There's no explanation really needed here, but just your classic TikTok cringe. Let me give you this one.
Okay, so I research everything before we watch it, but especially this movie. Obviously, I heard about it. Yes, we wanted to see it. It has an amazing rating. We prepared ourselves. I didn't know when the scene was going to happen, and I also didn't understand how the scene was happening. I thought it was just several minutes straight of, but it wasn't. It was actually broken up into like, it would do a flash of that, and then it would do a flash of normal life, and then it would do a flash of the scene, and then it was like very, back and forth. So it was really difficult to avoid it. But obviously my husband and I talk about everything. If we go anywhere or we go see anything, even if it's a concert, movie, an event, we have a game plan. We talk about things like, what if you get triggered? What if I get triggered? Really, the problem isn't what if you get triggered. The problem is what if I get triggered, because I don't want my night to be ruined by being triggered by something on a screen. So essentially, what we did was, when the scene came up, when things were happening, he literally closed his eyes and laid his head on my shoulder. Like, if this is my shoulder, this is my shoulder, he like this. And then I would just let him know whenever it was over. And it literally, I will tell you what right now, took nothing away from the story. Him not looking at the screen did not change the storyline, did not change anything.
Wow. What was she mouthing there? Was she saying nude or sex?
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie. Isn't it consensual sex?
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie either.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
Like a rape scene or something,
No, as far as
it's just
I
a
know,
sex scene.
Yeah. There's just there's apparently a couple. It goes throughout the movie or something. But are you kidding me?
She put her boobs away. It's okay. You can come out again. The nipples are gone, honey. Honey, the nipples are gone.
No nip zone. No nip zone.
Yeah. They just killed 1 trillion people with a bomb, but at least the nipples are gone.
Yes. Oh, it's incredible. What kind of adult is doing that?
Are you triggered?
Are you triggered?
She said, we go out, we have a game plan before we go. If we go to a music venue or something, if you're triggered or if I'm triggered, just say triggered. And then the worst is, if you're triggered, it's going to trigger my night. Your triggering is going to trigger my trigger. Yeah.
But dude, they got signs. They're the chest is the indicator. Oh, give me one of these.
Nips. Yeah.
Nips.
Nipples.
They got the earpiece in. Each one's got one in throughout the night.
I need your shoulder.
Shoulder report, please. Please, shoulder. We got a short skirt coming up. Short skirt on your left. Do not look.
Shoulder to cry on.
What a joke. Okay, told you, we're not serious people, man. Got to grow up. around here. All right. What do we got next?
Sad story, but something we got to address here coming up soon.
Okay.
Stuff's getting out of control. You'll see. Not the first time this has happened.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
Hard to watch. You there?
Too soon for one of those?
Oh,
Is that me?
bro. Oh, what? I just almost
Sorry.
started.
Sorry, I couldn't help. That's bad. That's mean.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't. It's not funny. Obviously, it's not funny. But what would you think if like either one of us was doing that? Again, like
I thought the stream was down.
Thank you. Like
Yeah.
I thought that it's embarrassing enough that I got lost in the woods, but this guy's literally breaking
Don't
down.
put him out there, man. Yeah.
It's not right.
That aide, Mr. McConnell, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, no, he's not okay.
No, he's definitely
Tell
not
him
okay.
to
It's the second
resign.
time in a week.
Tell him to
Like,
resign. Stop throwing him out there. That
and
Dianne Feinstein or whatever.
Oh,
Her.
Feinstein with her, him. We got Fetterman.
Everything is not Feinstein.
No, it's not Feinstein at all.
Simmons.
At all.
Senator Simmons.
Yes.
Is old.
It's crazy. I heard somebody like the other day too, like after him, like the next person in line is like 71, 68, like 72, like all the people that would be the high ranking members of the Republican Party in the Senate are all old. It's like bring in the new wave, man. Ted Cruz, I love him. Like, let him step up into a bigger leadership role. Josh Hawley, like guys like that are the future of the party, and just politics in general. These old people need to get out of the way. As much as we can't stand her, AOC and the squad crew, they should be moving up and bringing down the Democratic Party for us.
Triggered. See those big devils.
Oh man, those glasses or the nips. I don't know which ones were.
Not like a tamale.
Oh man. But yeah, these people got to get out of the way, man. That's embarrassing. It's bad. And
Bad and sad.
it's not funny to make fun of them. So I apologize to anybody who was triggered out there. But like, come on, what are we doing here? All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right, we got scumbag Biden coming up.
Oh, great.
Commiserating with, with the people down in Lahaina, and trying to relate to the average person who just had their children and houses burned down.
Middle class Joe.
Yeah. What are those names? What's his name? Peters.
Robin Weir.
No. What about Peter?
Yeah, something Peters.
Yeah. There you go. He got his whole house burnt down.
I don't want to compare difficulties, but we have a little sense, Jill and I, what it's like to lose a home. Years ago, now 15 years ago, I was in Washington doing Meet the Press. It was a sunny Sunday, and lightning struck at home on a little lake. It's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside, I watched the firefighters, the way they responded. There's an old expression. I grew up right across the street from a fire hall in Claymont, Delaware. And the expression is, God made man, then he made a few firefighters. You're all crazy, thank God. The only people who run into flames.
Is that a saying? Is that a saying? God made man, then he made firefighters?
I've never heard it before.
Because man knew how to do fire right away.
Who does this guy have writing his speeches for him? Stephen King? Like, could he get more descriptive with that? It was a bright, sunny day on a pond out there.
It's a sunny Sunday.
A sunny Sunday around high noon. The an autumn breeze was in the air.
It was a pond, no a lake.
One flurry fluff of cloud going through the sky. Like,
I don't want to compare things, but it was a day, and it was a sunny Sunday.
Yeah,
I don't want to compare it, but I will.
I don't want to, but here it is. And that was the short version. Like, to make a long story short, like, what was the long version? Oh my goodness! And
the old saying, "God made man, then he made firefighter,"
and then he made my '67 Corvette. Like, I think they were classified documents in the back seat of it too at the time when he
threw the HVAC
out of there. Oh, that's there to try and help people that have just lost their everything they own, their houses burnt to the ground, loved ones lost, and this jackass is there to comfort them and give them support by talking about a little kitchen fire that he had. Almost lost his cat and his Corvette.
One time I had some over Rodenbachers and I left it in the microwave too long. The house smelled of burnt popcorn.
Like the beginning of Scream. That's what he dealt with. Remember the popcorn burning, bring it to the sink. Like,
the Jiffy Pop one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
That's a joke. Movie? That is my favorite scary movie. It's a great one. Corn Pop. He's a terrible dude. Terrible.
Corn Pop. Corn Pop left it in the microwave too.
Yes, he did. And in the air ducts.
Let's move on to these climate scam people.
Oh, this is the best.
Protesters.
Yes.
Protesters. Like, people, this isn't helping your cause. It's just making people hate you.
Absolutely.
Did anyone get that?
Yeah.
Daryl!
You better move. You're gonna go back.
They changed!
Get out now! Get out! On the ground! All of you on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Don't move!
Incredible.
Did you hear that check in the background? We're not violent.
Incredible. And the people like talking, did you get that? Did you get that? Like, they think they're gonna like be able to sue the police over it or something. Those guys,
it has to be like, that looks like the only road for a bit. Like, we got to keep this clear for emergency vehicles.
Absolutely.
At a minimum, right? Like,
and don't try to pretend you're non-violent. That is a violent act. Like, you're aggressively blocking the only major road in and out of there, like chaining yourself to the thing. That's a violent maneuver to do. You're putting yourself right there, and basically saying, like
I dare you to hit me. I dare you to hit me.
Yeah, and it's like this guy's like, all right,
hit a non-violent person?
Here we go. Boom. It's terrorism by activism, I guess. And that's what they're trying to do. It's a complete joke. And I love that they did that. I think the sad thing is, if I'm not mistaken, that was on like tribal land. So that was going to that music festival thing, the Burning Man nonsense thing. I think that was like people going to that, which is kind of silly too. But that was like, I believe it was tribal land. So that wasn't like U.S.
Yeah, that was
officers.
like the tribal ranger. Yeah,
exactly. And that's why.
Yeah.
No, that's why I love it. I wish we acted like that. I wish our federal government did that. So, like, could we not control our border that way? Like if we let ICE do that, instead we try to put our ICE officers take their careers away from him because he hit his horse with the reins, and they tried to frame it as him beating up immigrants with it. This person, the tribal guy's running into people handcuffed in the street. Get down now on the ground. It's incredible.
We're not violent.
What else we got? Do we have another one?
Chad, are you getting this?
Yeah.
Video.
I'm trying to get this. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got one more.
I love it.
It's
That's the cruiser you come.
All right, let's just explain itself.
Spreading it, there's no doubt that masks work. Different studies give different percentages of advantage of wearing it, but there's no doubt that the weight of the studies, and there have been many studies, indicate the benefit of wearing masks.
I'm going to refer to one of them. You've heard about it before. I heard about it from a number of radio callers. Brett Stevens in The Times talked about Cochrane. Put that on the screen. The most rigorous and comprehensive analysis of scientific studies conducted on the efficacy of masks for reducing the spread of respiratory illness, including COVID-19, was published last month. Its conclusions, said Tom Jefferson, the Oxford epidemiologist who is the lead author, were unambiguous. There is just no evidence that masks, make any difference. He told the journalist Mayan Damasi, full stop. But wait, hold on. What about the N95 masks as opposed to the lower quality surgical or cloth masks? Makes no difference. None of it, he said. Well, what about the studies that initially persuaded policymakers to impose mask mandates? They were convinced by non-randomized studies, flawed observational studies. How do we get beyond that finding of that particular review?
Yeah, but there are other studies, Michael, that show at an individual level for individual. When you're talking about the effect on the epidemic or the pandemic as a whole, the data are less strong. But when you talk about as an individual basis of someone protecting themselves or protecting themselves from spreading it to others, there's no doubt that there are many studies.
Because I said so. That's why. That's the test. Individually, they do work. Just give them the mask, you sheep.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Fauci, how do they work individually, but don't, like, isn't the pandemic just like individual times a lot?
Yes, exactly.
Like, they work
in the broad scheme of things, they don't work. But you, sir, have to wear one. What is
Actually,
he
no.
talking about?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
It's great. Never gets old, this guy. He won't give it up, though. He still won't give it up.
Yeah, that was like, you would think that was from a long time ago. Yeah, that was like this week.
That's crazy. And
that was the New York Times article, not the Post or something.
Yeah, so you know it's bad if they're the ones reporting it.
Yeah.
I do have a flaw with where that data came from, though. How does a guy named Thomas Jefferson not go by Thomas Jefferson? He goes to study by Tom. The guy goes to study by Tom Jefferson over at the something. Everything he was quoting in the story, and then he's like, "Oh, according to Jefferson, full stop." Using that.
Yeah. Yeah, like that lady.
Yeah.
What was that about? Like
she was brutal.
Oh, the abortion lady.
Testifying. Yes.
Abortion, like.
Yeah, testifying in front of Congress, right? And she was like, "Oh yeah, full stop."
Yeah.
But Fauci's a joke.
He's
but
this
is what they're doing.
That voice again, dude. That you can't do it like that. You don't. They don't work.
Listen here. Your studies do not trust the science. I am the science. Me and only me, Dr. Fauci. Trust the science individually, not macro.
Actually, no.
But they're floating this. They're testing it for the election season again, right? It's like
well, you've seen that Atlanta College dropped it. They were like, "Yeah, it's wasn't working."
Oh, they did.
They were like the first ones to reinstitute.
And they already said bust.
They got rid of it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, it's not going to work. Not
gonna work. I can't do it. Do it one at a time again.
Not gonna work on my watch. As long as I'm in control.
He's like, be in control of anything, right? Though, like it's not like anything.
Oh, he's gone. He's done.
Yeah.
He's nothing. He's just a private citizen. Crazy.
Yeah, and another private citizen, Bill Gates. He must have.
I beat AIDS. I beat monkeypox, and I beat the COVID. All by masking up, by doing it all. Listen to me, Dr. Fauci. Oh, is that it for the lightning, or do we have anything else? We nixed those gay horses, right?
Yeah, but that was funny. That was from a long
great.
time ago. When they would go over
good
the
stuff.
rainbow.
Good stuff. All right, cool.
Yep. Let's move on to take a break. Another segment.
Love it.
It usually works. Been a while.
Let's do it. Yeah, I think that's how we do it. All right.
All right. Let's.
All right. So after a fun-filled lightning round, let's jump back into some of the stories of the day. And I told you we're going to hit Massachusetts for a little bit, and we have two of them here. One of them, I tried to fit this into the show a few weeks ago because it's, it's not like it just happened. It might have happened maybe a month ago at this point. But this couple, Mike and Kitty Burke, here in Massachusetts, they were denied the ability to foster parent children in need here in the state. And according to the story here from lifenews.com, it's because of their Catholic beliefs about marriage, sexuality, and gender. And again, my typical take on this stuff is, what are we doing here, people? Like, the guy's a former Marine. And his wife, they volunteer. They're good people. They help. They can't have babies of their own. They want to adopt, and they want to be able to raise somebody, bring them into their home. And you're going to deny them the ability to do that because of their faith, because they don't believe a boy can become a girl and a girl can become a boy, because they don't believe that homosexuality is the path to follow to a virtuous fulfilling life in relationship with God. For those reasons, they're going to be denied the ability to welcome children into a safe, loving home. You'd rather keep them in the streets or keep them in the foster care system. They said that we're in such desperate need right now for foster families. There's not enough space for these kids. They have kids staying in hospitals for 2-3 weeks at a time because they can't put them anywhere. And you're not going to let this family adopt? This is nuts, right, Juice?
Yeah, and they have all the hotel space taken up by illegals and stuff.
Yeah, can't put them there.
Put them there. Yeah.
I don't even think they would let these people take in. That was great. I don't think they would let these kids, these people bring in a migrant family either. They probably wouldn't allow them to do that either. Crazy.
Yeah, because they might not vote Democrat.
You know what, though? It reminds me of what we said about Elon Musk, too, and kind of like that same, theme behind the episode, the authoritarianism. Don't go along with the state-mandated propaganda. Sorry, can't have kids. F around and find out, right? F with us, find out what happens. It said in the story, it even talks about, like, they aced all of their, sessions you have to do. You have to do, like, training, pass some courses, meet with
a diaper or CPR.
I think so, yeah. And meet with someone comes to your house and stuff. They high marks across the board for everything. Even their interaction with the person was praised, but the person
they go sweep the counter.
Oh yeah, dust free.
You can't even find anything
Nothing.
on them except for the crucifix in the back room. The Bible under the bed.
You're so right. Oh, it'd be like in the hotel, right? It's in the top drawer next to your bed. Mm-hmm. Oh, they were gonna set this kid up with a Bible next to his bed. Nope. See you later. So that just think it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absurd. And I don't know how your normal average person would agree with that. I always talk about like talking to regular people about this type of stuff. We do it here on the podcast. You guys are clicking and listening because you're already inclined to kind of lean towards what we believe in. But how do you have that leftist that, your cousins with or the family member, whatever, that just is on opposite ends of the aisle? How would they feel about that? I don't know. Something I guess maybe I should ask myself too, but that's just a no-brainer to me. So the second story, unless you have something else on that one, Juice, you good on them?
No, but just like how you just said, how does the person on the other side look at this and be okay with it, blah blah blah. Same thing like with Biden, like even just speaking, even if he was like doing the right thing, like that most recent speech, how can you ever like go along with that and be like, but he's put 13 million jobs into the economy, and like use like facts and stuff, but like he like sniffed everybody's hair who's walked through the White House, titties on the lawn for the Pride Parade. His alias stealing money.
Like, how can you support any of that? But Orange Man bad. That's all they care about. It's crazy.
Yeah. What's the other piece of this?
The other one is from the city of Boston. So this story is from Boston.com, and it's basically a puff piece about the director of policy and strategic initiatives for the city of Boston's Office of Returning Citizens. You get all that? That's the job title. Director of Policy and Strategic Initiatives for the City of Boston's Office of Returning Citizens.
Needs 2 LinkedIn pages just to get the title in there.
What? And that's paid by our tax dollars. I'm sure it's $150,000 position appointed. And the person who
2
holds
business
the job,
cards to give out just for the whole title. Stapled together.
Flip it over.
Yeah.
It finishes on the backside. Her name is Kimberly Roten or Rotten.
I think, I've seen it both ways. I think it's pronounced Rotten, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Rotten.
I'll go with Rotten. You don't need to twist my arm there. So, Kimberly Rotten, this story's all about her. And they don't call her at all throughout the story. They call her they, their, them. That's the way they refer to her.
Her team, like Kimberly's team, or
no, Kimberly herself. They say she was very excited to get their marriage certificate, instead of excited to get her marriage certificate because, surprise, surprise, Miss Rotten is non-binary. And she was very upset and didn't feel like she existed in Boston because when she got married, she would have to put female down as her gender. Instead, she's non-binary, so she doesn't have a gender. So now she can get a marriage license to it didn't say who she's married to, but I bet you it's just a husband. She just looks like a bland, boring 28 to 32-year-old white lady. Like that's what
she's
she is.
Not even a lesbian or something?
No, I don't know for sure because it never said in the story. It didn't. But like my guess, honestly, is she's got a husband. Like,
imagine though, but it's a girl to begin with. Like,
yeah, she's a girl.
But imagine like you're doing this whole stink and you're like married to like an average Joe who's like playing in the softball league up the street and stuff, and your wife is so out of control that she's
crazy
bringing a stink just so she doesn't have to say woman on the certificate, and that's your wife.
Just because she wants something to talk about, I think. Like she has to like. You can't
She's
just
gotta be like a lesbian or something.
White woman get you nowhere. You have to be a white non-binary woman married to a gender non-conforming male, a birthing assistant partner.
Not to be so rotten about it.
I like what you did there. So this quote stood out to me. So let me find it here. Okay. So this is what Rotten told Boston.com. Quote, for many, a marriage certificate is a symbol of love and commitment. End quote. So she said, for many, a marriage certificate is a symbol of love and commitment. To that, I say you're absolutely wrong. The actual marriage is the symbol of love, not some stupid piece of paper, like not some contract you signed, Miss Rotten. Like she thinks that piece of paper validates her marriage, not the love she has for her soulmate, not the marriage that was created with the idea of creating the next generation of life. Not any of those reasons, the building block of every great civilization that's come before us. No, this lady needs the stupid piece of paper that she can frame and put on her wall that says non-binary marriage to whoever else she's married
next
to.
to the 3 master's degrees in like
Yes.
women's studies,
women's studies, African dance,
Latinx heritage.
Yeah, exactly. So that it stood out to me like in I feel like it's something you could easily gloss over, and I think I did the first time I read it, but when I reread the story, her looking at it like that, like this piece of paper, this certificate is the symbol of my love and commitment. Like screw you, Rotten. So the left, just like we've been saying all night, will do anything to force you to affirm, accept, and celebrate their sexual choices and their gender dysphoria. F around and find out. Don't go along with the state mandated propaganda and they'll bury you. You want to work for somebody like this, Kimberly Rotten? Gender pronouns in her bio, her email. Like, how would you feel? Say you got hired by the city of Boston and you reported for orientation and this was your boss. Like, how would you feel comfortable at all? You can't. It's like the kid who thinks like us, who's in college and knows he's got the loony professor. And now, oh shit, do I tell them that I voted for Trump? Like, I can't tell them that.
You're
like,
at the first day of the interview or whatever, and they're like, oh, they'll be right in to discuss the role with you. And then Rotten comes in, but they're like, well, we're not going to wait for the rest of the interview. I thought they said they'll be right
No,
in.
they're here right now.
I am they, and they are me. We are all
my
together.
Goodness. So it's crazy. And this stuff, like we've been doing this now for year and a half or so, but it already feels like 3 years ago is when I think we're around the same timeline, me and you, when we really started paying more attention to this stuff, like the political things, like the culture around us, what's going on. And I can distinctly remember 3 years ago, someone who's not friends with me anymore, like defriended me from Facebook, who I grew up with, accusing me of like, oh, this is the hill you're going to die on, about like trans stuff in Canada, about some of this nonsense. And it feels to me like 3 short years later, and it's here right in my backyard. City of Boston, like removing gender from your marriage certificate. Where does it stop? And it doesn't. So I don't know.
Good segue. I wish we had that song from Descendants to play us into the Come On Man.
What's that?
Rotten to the core.
That'd be great. Absolutely. The old days when we used to record and chop up and do it, we would have fit that right in.
I would have fit that right in. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the final segment of the day, which is our always fun, always popular, come on, man, segment of the day. So before we get into the creepy doctor we want to show you today, again, please subscribe to the show. Click the link, the icon, the bell, subscribe, all that stuff. Please do it. Help us.
How hard it is trying to, like it's a mirror.
Yeah, I don't, it's bad. So yeah, please follow us on YouTube, Rumble, Apple, Spotify, if you want to do audio only. We have Twitter accounts.
YouTube and Rumble.
But please find us, subscribe, help us, give us a like.
At Juicebox1423.
Woo! At DD
All one word.
617. All one word, baby. Okay, so the come on man today is something that just it made my stomach turn listening to this guy. And I guess basically just a butcher of a doctor, and I'll let him talk to you guys, let you know what he does, and you know, even though we're gonna make
he doesn't need any help painting himself to look like a scumbag.
He really doesn't, right? All right, let's hear from the doctor.
Should we call him that?
What'd you call him?
It is a doctor. I called him Dirtbag Doctor.
Dirtbag Doctor. Yes, Dirtbag Doctor.
Dr. Zoidberg from.
Question: can I have both a vagina and a penis? If so, how does that work? I've done that surgery. A few years ago, I had a college-age student that was born with male anatomy, and she said that she identified as female, always wanted a vagina, but got sexual gratification from her phallus and did not want to have to sit to urinate. And so I said, okay, normally when we do a penile inversion vaginoplasty, we use the penile skin to create the vagina, and if there's not enough penile skin, sometimes at the very top we do a scrotal skin graft. So I said, you know, we won't have that skin to use, but if you don't mind me giving you a small tummy tuck scar, I can harvest full thickness skin graft from there and create a vagina. And so she said, okay, and we did the surgery, and she healed great. Everything went really well, and that was a few years ago. I haven't heard any complaints. So that's another example of.
Did you hear how hard he tried not to misgender?
Yeah, tripping on the pronouns, and he's doing this stuff every day, and he can't even navigate it.
Because it's absurd. It's lunacy.
Yeah,
this guy. I started the show telling you I got lost in the friggin' woods, right? And I didn't go to college. I don't have an Ivy League education. Like, I'm not a medical student. This guy is 10 times smarter than me on paper, yet something as simple and as basic as this, he doesn't get. It goes right over his head, or he's just fallen for the greed that comes along with it, the amount of money that he must charge for this. And he can rest his head, sleep at night, knowing that he's deforming people because of their mental illness. He's capitalizing on people's disease and sickness to profit. Like, anybody who knows that man, who's like a friend of his, Labor Day weekend, I'm sure that guy has a bougie house.
He better not be at a cookout.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. He lives on a lake, I bet, with like a gorgeous view, boat, something, you know? And whoever goes and enjoys that. What?
I'll bring the sausages.
Yeah.
Slopping them off.
Yes, exactly. But if you go and hang out with that guy, you're almost as guilty. I guess I can't say just as guilty as this tool, but if you knew what this guy did and you don't just like, just want to backslap him.
Yeah,
that stupid ponytail.
Every time you see him. Yeah, somebody hold him by the ponytail and somebody.
I can't even pronounce half the words he was dropping there. And again,
Dude,
it's like
the guy who the patient, the mental patient, like, one, it's crazy. You can't always get what you want, right? Like, he wanted to be able to jerk off still, not sit to pee, but also have a vagina.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you don't get everything. If we're gonna play this game that you're playing, you gotta pick. You can pick your sex now. So what do you want? You can't.
Yeah.
Came in with a laundry list of like, I still want to be able to do this. So
exactly.
I want to have to turn the lights on. The opposite. I sit to pee sometimes at night in the middle of the night.
That's LD's move, remember?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what a tool. And this guy, oh yeah, we could do that for you. Oh yeah, usually I would turn your penile skin into a vagina, but you know what?
We got a little from your tummy this time.
Yeah, let's do that.
As long as you don't mind having a C-section scar, a dick and a vagina, we'll be good.
And this guy's like, he's like, oh, I never heard anything else from it afterwards.
Yeah, It's been a couple of years and everything's good. Yeah, I'm sure everything's good, dude.
Yeah, this
I
guy's
bet.
6 feet under already because he
Yeah.
killed himself,
Yeah.
or like, and you just never heard from him again.
Broke
Yeah,
his
so I'm
dick
just
in
gonna
half
assume
trying to.
everything worked great. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Did I say him? She is awesome. Sorry.
That's one where you could actually say they, because they got both.
That's true. We found that the left has found their answer, I guess.
Yeah.
Just nuts. This guy, he just made me sick. Like, just seeing him, and again, like I said, the way he did it and talked about
He
it.
kind of looks like sweaty, too, like in that shirt,
like
with no undershirt, and you can see through it.
There's a special place in hell for people like that, and I'm telling you, like it's he's okay reaping the benefits of doing it now. He's on the right side of the culture, I guess, but he's not on the right side from the man upstairs. He's definitely not. So that man, unless you have anything else to add to him, Juice, has earned himself one big fat classic. Come on, man. And I think that will probably put a bow on today's show. Do you have anything else to bring to this guy, or to
No,
wrap
but on
up
this
tonight
guy, I'm
with?
picturing him like, like we're talking about going to the cookout, right? Some cheesy car, some what's it called, convertible.
Sports car.
He like comes out from just doing one of these surgeries, whatever. Just a couple top surgeries today. No big deal. Going to the cookout, taking up the bun, and he's in the convertible, and just just a couple,
letting it flow.
Simple Friday, couple tops. No
probably
bottoms.
rocking like a Speedo at like a family barbecue or something.
Yeah.
Absolute clown.
Just letting his hair down.
Oh.
Dirtbag Doctor number 2.
Dirtbag Doctor. He's brutal. Well, that'll do it, I guess. I told you, left-wing authoritarianism. That's what they're going to do. You know what? Don't go along with this doctor. Again, F around and find out, right? Speak up and say that this stuff is wrong. F around and find out. Don't want to, end up with a problem with the IRS. F around and find out. We just hired how many more officers that can come knock on your door now, stand outside of a abortion clinic with a pro-life mindset, get your house raided. F around and find out. The left of the authoritarians all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Don't let them tell you that Trump is. So with that being said, sorry we missed it. He's hesitating. He's ready. I got nothing else to say to you guys tonight, except thanks for having me. Yes.
And they are out.